All right, here we go. Our first driver of Formula Drift rookie comes all the way from Poland. It's a two-car team. This is Peter Vincek, 2JZ powered S15. Bit off that rear clipping zone into this sector, that rear clipping zone there, and around that final Blackmagic Intense clipping point. Now, take note, that Blackmagic Intense
overall, but we have changed some of the ways we judge it. We'll talk about that as we go through qualifying.
All right, so Peter Vincek, he's our #1 qualifier because he's our only qualifier. Score of 74 there, a score of 74 for Peter Vincek from Poland. The Wardhouse Drift Team Falcon Tire S15. Like I said, he is part of a two-car team. We'll see the other one after our next driver. And here's the first run for Little Tex, Nate Hamilton, car number 144 in Juku Racing. Oh, and already some issues out of the gate there, locking him up. Very interesting. That is not how you want to start it. Also, Ryan, it will be noted, both Ryans, I say that primarily to Sage, but to Lantain as well, there's only 30 cars. You know, so that could work out, you know, great, but you need to get a score. In this instance, that's an incomplete run for Nate Hamilton.
Yeah, exactly. You definitely need to earn your position in the battle for tomorrow. And, you know, Nate, I'm sure that he'll be able to lay down a run, but obviously for run #1, just didn't go his direction.
If you watched kind of the buzz in the offseason, you saw, you know, all the internet's blowing up in regards to these guys. But James Dean here on his first Formula Drift run. Nice job getting all the way out, utilizing all the track. It's the outside zone. Look at that. Again, he is one to watch this year. A lot of people, all Ireland is cheering him on. A great, I mean, that was a great way to start his 2017 season, Ryan.
Wide out to the wall. We're happy with it.
Okay,
wow.
So there it is, a 91 out of the gate. You know, a lot of threatening battles here. Give it a round of applause. James Dean in that Wardhouse Drift Team Falcon Tire S15 coming to us from Ireland. So quickly making some noise.
This is a situation where these guys air freighted their car here, the car that they worked on in all offseason, and now they're competing in it, so that's pretty cool.
Adding to the international affair, coming to us from Russia, it is Gorgi. Gorgi in this NGK Silvia S15 on Nitto Tires. Nice job, boy. Just bit off a little too much there under the bridge. So Gorgi, unfortunately, that will be an incomplete run.
At the venue, and whether you're on-site or off-site, send you prizes, really cool stuff in there, so check out the rewards portion of it. Have some fun with it.
All right, here we go. This is Rad Dan Burkett, Rad Industries next entire Toyota Supra, getting out, really dancing with the tires there, staying on throttle, great looking car. He earned his license in Pro 2 last year in order to, as he says, live the dream. All right, there is Rad Dan as he's.
Yeah, no, you hit the nail on the head, Jared. That was pretty much it.
All right, well, there's Dan Burkett's score, and as you said, Ryan, a 60 there, a 60 for Dan Burkett.
Yeah, so he was off 15 points on angle and 10 points on line, so he definitely left a lot on the table, and he only got 15 out of 30 for style. So.
All right, so there is Jeff Jones. He is on the line, so we could see. James Dean, yeah, Jeff Jones got some fans out here, and he goes hard, man, in practice. I don't know if you saw, he went hard at the wall here, right in front of the judging stand. Here we go, the Doc X hand-cooked tire. Woo, nice job. Got the Edelbrock supercharger under the hood. Nice job by Jones. See a little bit of correction there from the front wheel, and rotates it around. You hear him lift it to kind of just gain some ground. As we await the score of Jeff Jones, and there it is, a 71. So you can see 28, 26, 17, and that is a 71 for Jeff Jones. Putting him into third position. Coming up next, looks like the green headlights of Robby Nishida. Robby Nishida on Achilles radials, into that touch and go. First rear clipping zone, about a half a car distance off under the bridge. Flew through the course. You can see that smoke trail, the smoke signal letting you know that he's on the throttle, the exhaust note, so good fluidity, but as far as placement of the car, But you know, Robin Ishida always
To see, but you know, it's not going to knock more than a point or two, or probably a point off, really, just for that.
All right, well, we're cleaning house here as Robin Ishida. A 72, so he just bumps right above Jeff Jones, so 72. Like I said, very fluid. If he just had, I think, a little bit, maybe, you know, and you got to think he's got a second run here. Let's keep it off the walls. Let's not do anything silly. Just want to make it into the show. Here we go, moving right along. A new car for the Butcher, Cameron Moore, Nameless Performance, BN Sports, next entire GT86 from Battleground, Washington. If that doesn't sound mean. He's out for blood here. Again, a brand new car. Cameron Moore around that final front clip. Again, another driver potentially playing it safe.
Corral it in with the score for whatever Clipper zone you're near.
And there's Cameron Moore's score, a 68. A 68 for Cameron Moore. See, 25, 24, and 19. So a 68 puts him into number 5 position. And again, Cameron Moore's graphic inspired because his during the week job, he's a butcher. So you can see that big meat cleaver and got some blood splatters there on this vehicle. Next up, Pat Gooden. Got that Huddy Racing, O'Reilly Auto Parts, Hankook Tire, Nissan S13. Pat Gooden coming to us from Florida. Nice job. Let's see how he does. Good consistent throttle. Really standing on it, powering through the sweeper. Car looking very settled. Nice job by Pat Gooden. And you got to think, Pat Gooden coming to this. And there's Pat Gooden, a 78. A 78, look at that, puts him into 2nd position. So nice job there by Pat Gooden. Also after that was to be Farouk Gay, who I saw him, you know, during practice. I saw his car being tested. Right now, it's all about Jonathan Castro. Jonathan Castro, Jadu Metaldom Nexen Tires GT86. Castro, clean, tidy there. A straight line approach towards that. All right, there is Jonathan Castro, score of 77, puts him into 3rd place. She was the first in it. Now they're really becoming common, and I like that. That just shows the progression of parts and readily available. Talk about progression. Kyle Mohan. This thing has seen many different variations, and right now he is he's looking really aggressive. Wow, look at that shimmy there. Oh, gets out to the touch and go. Whoa! Wow. All right, looks like that will be an incomplete pass, and you saw him on initiation. Got out to that touch and go. Tall young man.
Big dude.
All right, Alex Hilbrun. Alex Hilbrun, IMR Racing. So again, that was an incomplete run for Kyle Mohan. That will be a non-scored run. All right, Alex Hilbrun. Nice job there, but he's deemed the monster BMW. Big angle into that rear clipping zone. And wraps it around that final Black Magic Intense clipping point. Nice job there. And Alex, you know, no longer utilizing the word 0 because when it goes to head, there's no longer a number, you know, allocation. And there's Alex's score. Look at that. He is tied for first currently with the 91. But again, without going off, he actually takes the lead because how would it default to as far as he has a 91 similar to James Dean.
Well, he may take the lead depending on what his 2nd score is and also what the 2nd score of James Dean is.
All right, so they both have 91s. So right now, unofficially, it looks that Alex has the lead, or has the number 1 qualifying position. Right now, Juha Rintanen. Juha. All right, so this is Juha's first run, getting all the way out to that touch and go. Lighten up the Nexen tires into the rear zone. Seems that the Finnish driver, you know, he's a clipping zone.
Well, that's the important factor throughout these tracks for qualifying is you have to weigh all those disadvantages and advantages.
So an 83 for the Finnish driver Juha Rintanen puts him into currently number 3 position. Logistically transporting his vehicle with Alec Honadale, so they're going to share some resources here. Here we go. Matt Kaufman, 959. Not getting out that touch and go. Good fluid, you can see and hear. Look at that, nice aggressive throttle. Lifting, though, and then getting back on it. All right, so Kaufman not changing much, having some words with them here yesterday, not changing much from last year outside of the livery. That run, like you said, maybe potentially a little bit safe there, a 74. Do you think the drivers are taking that into consideration, that they are in the show for tomorrow, guaranteed? Where they qualify obviously dictates what's going on there. Do you think they're playing it safe and just want to get in the show tomorrow?
Well, that is a possibility, knowing there are only 30 drivers. You know that all you have to do is put a score on the table. And he didn't do bad. He got a 21 out of 30 for style, so he's getting close to getting everything right, just kind of playing inside of a smaller bubble, I guess you could say.
Dean Carnage Carney back again with the Oracle Lighting Dodge Viper on Achilles radials. Here we go, Dean. Gas Monkey Energy lid, so good kudos to him. Another Irish driver, really getting this Dodge Viper to work really well. Nice job all the way out to that touch and go, getting that wing. Well played by Dean. And into that final front clip. Well played by Dean. His team working feverishly earlier this week.
Our first runs typically aren't too crazy anyway.
71 there for Dean Carnage Carney. What do we got here? It looks like Michael Essa, former Formula Drift champion. Michael Essa, might I add. No, wait. Yeah, sorry. Threw me off there. All right, so Essa Autosports, Achilles Radial BMW. Looks good in practice. Nice flick there in the transition into the rear clipping zone. Good, consistent. You can hear him kind of blip the throttle, stay in it. Little blip shift around that final clip, well executed.
Very high score had he done it in qualifying. Now this was not a bad run, but he didn't quite get out to the walls as well as he did in that practice run. So he does have some room for improvement, and we know that he can do better than what he just did.
An 81. So as you said, he's got that in his back pocket. I like how you use that. In practice, he would have won practice, but yeah. That's a great way of putting it. But right now when push comes to shove, you got to put all the things considered. And speaking of last year, Ryan, if you can recall, I had some words with Justin Pollock. He seems a lot more comfortable. He's telling me this. He says the car just seems dialed. I'm good. I'm strong. The car's reliable. Last year, very different story. He took it hard into the wall. Had to tweak the car back, weld some things. Oh, and look at this. Okay, a little hiccup there out of the gate, but then refires it back up. Gets out to the touch and go into the rear clipping zone. Nice job. That Roush Performance Falcon Tires Ford Mustang JTP, and brings it around that final clip. You can see him just getting it around and wrapping it around. Nice job, full carbon fiber in a good place, and he's got an all-white suit. We'll see if that pays off or if he's going to get dirty, but right now it's just all about him and the track here. Alec Honadell in his supercharged V8 S14. Yeah, buddy, getting all the way out there, but then there's that, again, that offset. Getting all the way into that outside zone. Good job on the second one, and then around that final clip. So a straight line approach there. Loud, proud.
I wouldn't say sloppy, but he did make quite a few mistakes throughout the run, and you can see with a 67. We've seen better from him today in practice, and this run could have been a lot better. So hopefully his second run, he'll clean it up a little bit.
Yeah, and he needs to do that. I mean, he does have a score of 67, puts him into 13th position, a 67 for Alec Honadell. Right now, Ryan Turk on the start line, the Gum Out Nameless Performance Hankook Tires Toyota 86 from New Hampshire. Always a crowd favorite. Here comes Ryan Turk. Ryan Turk initiating into view of the judges. Out to the touch and go. Well played, tight to the wall. Minimal corrections. And into the final clip, Ryan Turk looking poised, eyes on the prize.
The throttle that we want to see throughout the course. So you can see that my fluidity and commitment score, 9 out of 10 for both of those, so he gets a 26 out of 30 there.
And there it is, a 90 for Ryan Turk, puts him into the number 3 position after the two other drivers that had a 91. It was James Dean. Who else had the other 91? What was that? Alex Hilbrun. Thank you for reminding me that. And there you see it. Hilbrun, Dean, Turk, 1, 2, and 3. Here we go. The Goosh, Ken Gooshey, another Toyota 86, the Gretty Performance. Nice job. Nexen Tires under the bridge. Ken Gooshey, leader of that Boost Brigade brand. Well played there by the Goosh. Ken Gooshey, Formula Drift veteran. And just after the finish line, you see him coming to a halt, but it looks like here, keeping him in the zone. And 86, well, coincidentally a score fitting of his vehicle, but an 86 for Ken Gucci.
Yeah, good run for Ken. He'll have something to build on for number 2, and he'll head back and make any changes that he needs with that data that he's acquired after run number 1 and see where everybody else lines up. We've got a handful of zeros here, but now Daijiro Yoshihara heads off.
Another Formula Drift veteran and a former Formula Drift champion, turn 14 distribution, Falcon tire. Now he's running a Subaru BRZ turbocharged V8 as opposed to the factory EJ engine, which is the boxer engine, but now, oh, buddy, a wide swing. Is that oh, man, that's going to hurt. Is that an incomplete pass?
Of that straightened at the very finish line,
Yeah.
before the finish line,
Yes.
and the loss of control. It was almost, there were two straightens. He straightened, kind of got back to angle, and then drove over the finish line. So unfortunately, we're going to have to give that one a 0.
So that's a 0, meaning it's an incomplete pass. So Daijiro Yoshihara will have to get a score on a second run. And just to clarify, Ryan, we have 30 drivers, 30 spots, but will a driver advance into 30 if they have 2 incomplete runs?
No, they will not. They will not.
Here we go, Matt Field, the 777, running the signature teal and blue. And Matt Field, almost called the powers there. Matt Field, nice job around that final front clip. The beast from the Bay. Park performance, Nissan 240SX from San Jose, California. 85, and 85 from the 777, Matt Field. So you can see there a 31 out of 35, 29 out of 35, and a 25 out of 30 in the IFC, initiation, fluidity, and commitment. So looking for some big things from Matt Field. Very fun driver to watch, a very aggressive package. And rounding out the teal and blue Falcon vehicles, denoted by Odie's got his signature orange around the base of the vehicle and the mirrors, as Matt Field runs his signature neon yellow. Here we go, Odie Bakshis initiating. The drift wheels, Falcon tires, lighting them up. So there we go. Not getting the touch and go, but filling that first rear clipping zone, approaching the second one. And he's back behind the wheel of an S14. I mean, just the days of Vegas drift, he was in an S chassis. Now he's back behind the wheel of a V8 S chassis. And, you know,
A little bit on the touch and go, but went deep in outside zone 1. And I think it's going to pay off for his score, as you can see here.
and it's going to set him up for success too, because if you get to that outside, the first outside zone, you're going to nice clean. And look at, there is an 89. So
Yeah.
an 89 puts Odie currently into 4th position. So almost playing the numbers, playing the, let's call it what it is, the game of those sectors and getting out, and good fluidity.
Yeah, because outside.
In 3-wheel motion and practice. It's kind of his signature thing now. Vaughn Ginn Jr., Monster Energy Nitto Tire, Ford Performance, Mustang RTR. Here we go. Vaughn into the touch and go, getting all the way out there into the rear clipping zone. You see the bumper flex, takes a licking and keeps on ticking. Vaughn Ginn Jr. And around that final front clip, you can see that back end just squatting like a bullfrog. Flying local time here to 10 p.m. And look at a 91. So 91 seems to be the highest score that all these guys can get. And looking at that, going off of without having a second score puts them in the second position.
Well, that's going to make the second run very interesting,
Yeah.
because it's going to be ever so important for those 3 guys to get the better of the second score or better their first one. So, yeah, that's going to get real interesting on run number 2.
Yeah, could they better not only their competitors, but also can they better their first score? And that will ultimately get them those. Right now, those are coveted 2 spots, because you're basically going from here to the 16. Frederick Osborne is brand new Rockstar Energy Nexen tires, Toyota Corolla IM. That's a mouthful and that's a face full of smoke as he debuts a new car, a 2AR engine. So he's running a 4-cylinder turbo. Speed Hunters and Larry Chen posted some photos and videos debuting that vehicle just this week. And there's an 82, so puts him into 9th. Now remember, Osbo finishing 2nd, coming down in that final round, finishing 2nd last year. So your defending champion, first ever 3-time Formula Drift champion, Chris Forsberg. Now, Chris Forsberg and Ryan Turk did an Instagram takeover, and I don't know if you took note, but he's back behind the wheel of a V8 370Z. He's planning on debuting a V6 twin-turbo anti-lag setup, but now he's back behind the wheel of the VK56. And Forsberg has had some great success here before. And that NOS Energy Drink 370Z on Hankook tires. And brings it around. I mean, that's textbook Forsberg right there. Of the O'Reilly Auto Parts Streets of Long Beach event. And this is the Formula Drift Black Magic Pro Championship presented by Blackview Dash Cameras. An 89 for Forsberg puts him into Chinese judge, Andy, yet? All right, here we go. This is Peter Vincek, that Wernhouse 2JZ S15. Nice job there, lighting up the Falcon tires. Now Peter wrapping around that, and taking out that Black Magic. The first driver actually to hit that was pretty intense. See what I did? Sponsors here on display. Some fans joining us, skipping school or skipping work. 87, and 87 does better his first score. So the debut of the Polish driver, Peter Vincek, scores.
Yeah, not so much of a maiden voyage, but definitely a long, long break, and the series was way different back then.
So James Dean initiating. Coming into view of the judge, you see him turn on the smoke machine. Good transition. See a little bit of correction there, massaging it into the second rear clipping zone. Quick little touch and go, and dialing and zeroing in on that Black Magic Intense Tire Shine clipping point.
Well,
driver awaiting the score, and there it is. James Dean, a 96, so look at that.
Wow.
91, a 96, a definitive strong presence there. But Hilbrun and Vaughn
should probably be a little bit harder to get those scores because the entirety of those sectors is being judged as opposed to points and outer zones.
All right, so Gorgi, here we go. NGK Sylvia S15 coming from Russia. Well played there from Gorgi. And around that final clip, this is do or die for the Formula Drift rookie from Russia. He did I'm looking at your notes. The horseshoe. We've never called it the horseshoe.
I just did. I'm sorry.
It's an incomplete run. It's a peninsula or a hairpin. The horseshoe exists in Atlanta. And there's the score for Gorgi there. A 73 for the Russian driver. I asked the spotter how to pronounce his name and said, just call him Gorgi. That's it. That's how he's known. Just call him that. Dan Burkett. Dan Burkett here on his second run. Great looking car. Looks the part. Formula Drift Pro rookie. Rat Industries getting all the way out to the tire. You can hear him banging away on the rev limiter. Popping through. Fun driving to watch, like I said. Very good looking. And taking out that Black Magic Intense tire, fully pinned on it. I mean, you could hear the exhaust note, you could see the car, just needs to find that sweet spot. So that is an unscorable run on a second run. So that is an incomplete run on a second, but as you said, Ryan, comfortable position. He does have a score. He will be seen head-to-head competition tomorrow. Where he lands, picked up a sponsorship from Edelbrock. He's got a supercharged LS now under the hood. And here comes Jones. Touch and go. Snappy transition. Some wavering there. But now gets it dialed into that rear clipping zone. Ryan, you gave him the nickname Relentless, and I think that's really stuck.
Was safe it was. He's not going to be charged with the competition timeout, so he will have that for tomorrow. Was simply just needing to put a zip tie back in place.
All right, so that's good news for Nate, but he still has to have a run. He still has to have a score in order to see tomorrow's action. And the results are in for Jeff Jones at 77. 77 puts him into 15th position. So as again, reiterate, Nate Hamilton's car is back up and running. He will have his second go. He has a 0 on his first run, so it's do or die for Little Tex Nate Hamilton and the 144 in Juku Racing. S13, here we go. Hamilton, he needs to put a score on the board. Nice job by him. Initiating into the touch and go. Hankook tires being lit up into that rear clipping zone. Very fluid off the line though as far as the rear clipping zone, especially on that second one. But he does get a pass.
Way too early.
I don't know. All right, so real quick. Nate Hamilton's score, a 75, puts him into 16th position. So Nate Hamilton with a 75.
Yeah, it's so hard.
Looking at it?
It's hard to say, you know. I mean, there's so many great drivers, and there's so many guys that have I'll just say this. I would say anybody that came this year with a brand new program has a lot more work to do.
Okay.
But let's take a look at Robbie's run.
Robbie Nishida, a gentleman that has been banging away on this G37. Good transition, looking strong right now. Fluid, going through the course. Looks dynamic. I think he's going to miss some points in the line category, but look at the car. Looks like it's got some muscle for sure.
Try to give them the ability to have a little bit more of their personal flair or style come through in the initiation.
So Nishida does better his first score. He got a 72 on his first run. Now on his second run, a 77. A 77 for Nishida. Next up, we are seeing Cameron Moore. Cameron Moore in that nameless performance prepared BN Sports. Nexen Tire GT86 from Battleground, Washington. The Butcher. There will be blood. We'll see. I puts it down. Cameron Moore into view. You see a little hiccup there on initiation. We're going to touch and go, but can he get it tight? Good execution. You're seeing some wavering there, but now cleaning it up, transferring into that final front clip. And there is Cameron Moore.
Just taking a look, Jared, at Cameron Moore's run. I'd love to get Lantane your take on
this event. Has been known to sell out before. So Cameron Moore, and it is a score of a run on a second run, a 65. His first run, so 65 on a second run. His first score, a 68, proves to be the better of the two, and that currently puts him in the 21st position. So he will be seen head to head. But he goes against to be decided. Here we go. So Kyle Mohan. Kyle Mohan with a 0 on his first run. Can he put a score on the board? He's from right here in Long Beach. Wow. Ooh-wee. Oh, man. Kyle Mohan. I'm always pulling for Kyle, man. Him and the Mohan family, they work hard. The dad's, Mr. Mohan, he's running around, and Kyle's wife just came over. She's his spotter, and she said car problems. We're having car issues. So, unfortunately, Kyle Mohan will not be seeing competition. But right now, it's all about Pat Gooden. Pat Gooden, O'Reilly Auto Parts. Pennzoil on the front bumper. Black Magic, intense tire shine going in, tapping the wall. And Pat Gooden. So,
you know what was going on there for sure. He was going for it.
He was going for it.
That's a great save, though.
Do it for Dale, man.
Great save.
He's about to throw it down. That could have gotten really ugly, but
the tire wall did its thing, and you can see the car drives away fine. He's got his 78, so he's in competition tomorrow.
Yeah.
But he was out there trying to get that bigger score and put on a show for everybody.
The Sogun BMW, both BMWs of Farouk and Charles are a scratch. So Jonathan Castro, Jordu Mentaldon Nexen Tires, Toyota GT86. Nice job into the rear clipping zone, approaching that other one. Touch and go, and then into the final front clip. Wraps it around flawlessly on the Black Magic. Yeah, we saw that with a few drivers. Matt Kaufman as well. Gonna just widen the line, as you said. But a 78 on his second run, so still a credible score. A 77 on his first run, but he betters it with 1 point, and it's the better of two. And the second one proves to be higher. That's a 78 for Castro. So Alex Hilbrun, currently three-way tie. So Dean betters it with a 96. Can Alex Hilbrun? Oh, doctor, that could have gotten ugly, or that could have been insane. Do you see the angle? If he was going to snap that back, oh man, he is uncorked right now. The Inca Maya Racing from Peru. Hashtag FDLB and Juha Rintanen, an 82 on his second run. So his first score, 83, is the better of the two. Currently at number 10 qualifying position. And here we go. This should be exciting. This is the maiden voyage for Chelsea Denofa. Chelsea Denofa debuting his BC Racing Nitto Tire Ford Mustang RTR. Rounding out that two-car Mustang team. Chelsea bringing it into that rear clipping zone. Nice job. Really dialed on the line. Oh, and a hiccup there approaching that final front clip. You saw that straight line approach, but he did keep the Matt Kaufman. Matt Kaufman from Medford, Oregon, Nexen Tire. Kaufman Racing 959. Oh boy, using all the course, tapping the wall, transitioning. So got out to the touch and go, but compromising, getting out to that first rear clipping zone, and now massaging around that final clip. Great looking car, aggressive, that Ford V8 under the hood of the S13. Currently our number 1 qualifier. Got 96. Here we go. This is another Irish driver, Dean Carnage Carney. Oracle Lighting. Achilles radial Dodge Viper going hard into the touch and go. Look at that, just burying that thing into the wall, but it keeps it moving. The Viper bites back, makes some noise for Dean Carnage Carney. Christoph Blues in the back. Here comes Justin Pollock. Roush Performance, Falcon Tires, Ford Mustang. There we go. You can see him, some wavering. Nice, throwing it into that. That's Justin's style. He likes to go for that big impact, and it pays off this time. He did get a little bit off of that rear clipping zone, but the impact that a lot of the fans love JTP. See what Ryan Turk's got here on his second run. He has a 90 on his first run, the 2JZ Power Toyota 86. Initiating into the first turn. Nice job. Transitioning through. Very fluid. You can see some corrections there from the front wheels, just precisely dialing it in and around that final clip. So Ryan Turk putting it down. The 1552 wheels wrapped in hand-cooked tires continue through the unofficially being at number 2 position. All right, Sage, here we go. Ken Gucci finished 7th last year. Gretty Performance. Nexen Tires. Boost Brigade. Oh, 86, shutting her down. Ryan, you're talking about at Media Day, just strengthening the car, making it just more dialed, strengthening the points of I don't want to say weakness, but the points that gave them problems last year, chasing those down. He does have a score, but it's unfortunate what happened here.
Yeah, I mean, even as you strengthen the vehicle where you saw weaknesses, gremlins can always rear their head and things pop up. But they said they really focused on, hey, these are the things we had problems with last year. How can we either mitigate those to the best degree possible or come up with a solution that's going to be able to strengthen them?
All right, so we are, and here we go. This is Daijiro Yoshihara's second run, turn 14 distribution. Subaru BRZ on Falcon Tires. Yeah, throwing it down. Dai Yoshihara, good execution. This is where he had an issue on his last run. It looks like he will massage it around that Black Magic Intense Tire Shine front clip. Speaking of clip, what's up, Ola Clip? How we doing, Tim? 777, the Beast from the Bay. Here we go. Supercharged V8 under the hood. Ready to throw it down. The Drift Cave, Elite Caveman into view of the fans. Coming down the chute, under the bridge. Some angle there from field. Shallowing up there on the rumble strip. And shedding some weight there. That back bumper just flying off. All right, knows how to get it done. Again, I've seen him just develop over the years from Vegas Drift to now a real contender for a championship. Odi Bakshis, here we go, now Falcon Tires, Art Performance, Drifts Wheels, S14. Beautiful day to roll down the windows and open the sunroof as Odi Bakshis. You get a great shot. Look at him just massage that thing right around the front clip. And so it's cool to see all the drivers mingle. There is a dedicated autograph session after this, 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock over the NOS Energy Drink booth. Here we go. Former Formula Drift champion Frederick, the Norwegian Hammer Osbo, and his brand new Rockstar Energy Nexen Tire Toyota Corolla IM. What are you going to see from Osbo? In that second rear clipping zone, here we go. In and to that touch and go and tightens it up in the hot hatchback of Frederick Osbo for top 32 and 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for the top 16. Our final driver of the O'Reilly Auto Parts Streets of Long Beach Round 1, Chris the Force Forsberg, 3-time Formula Drift champion. And NOS Energy 370Z gets into the wall, gets the latter portion of that rear clipping zone, now dialing it in around that final front clip, taking it out. So maybe taking a few hints from what Vaughn did, throwing it down, got aggressive. You saw him tap the wall, but when he approached that outer clipping zone in front of the judging stand, seems like he just kind of skimmed it there towards the latter portion of that run. Ryan?